Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you're doing well. So today's video is all about how to deal with bad news from the hospital, and this is part of my new series on hospital advice and experiences. So yeah, I hope you enjoy and let's get started. My first tip is to take time out and just breathe and try and be as positive as you can, because obviously receiving bad news from the hospital can be awful. Like you'll literally have so many emotions. Like you'll be so upset, you'll probably feel really angry, you'll feel anxious, you'll be so confused, you'll be shocked, and you just literally will feel so many different things. So you just got to take a step back and realise that obviously it's going to hurt you and it can affect you like a lot, but just take time to yourself and don't rush any decisions. You've just got to take time, absorb all the information in, and that way when you do think about what's going to come next, you would know that you've got a steady mind and you're focused rather than making like rushed decisions straight away. And I know that can be so hard because believe me, I was in that position a year ago, I think maybe a year and a half ago, when after my operation, the emergency one, before my GCSEs, after like results and stuff, they basically told me that I could have no vision in my left eye, like so I could basically be blind in that eye. And obviously I kind of knew that was expected because I've got no vision, and from a young age I've been told that my vision is slowly gonna go away in my left eye. But when they told me that, I was just literally in pieces. I was so shocked because I thought the operation would be like obviously good, like it would help me, and in some ways it helped one condition but it didn't help another because I've got like two different things mixed together in my eye. And obviously I was so upset. Like I came home and I was crying and I was just so devastated. But at the end of the day I was like, instead of making any decisions on what to do, like I've obviously been really upset and stuff like that, I was like, I need to take all the information in, just relax and just breathe. And honestly that really did help. Like I didn't do it as well as I hoped, but I literally just took some time off of school. Like I had loads of breaks and stuff like that. Like if I wanted to go in, I went in, and in the morning I remember just going in a bit late just so I can take some time to myself. And I was like, look, at the end of the day it is bad news, but I just have to stay positive and be grateful that at least I've got an eye that has vision. And at the end of the day you just got to take positives out of it. Just take a step back and breathe. And I know it's weird for people to say breathe, but breathing does help a lot. Like if I'm ever anxious, I just literally just take a few breaths and it helps me so much. My second tip is to try and find out if there is a way to overcome it, if there's a way to sort it out. Like, can you see a doctor? Because sometimes the bad news can lead to a result where you can actually find out what to do. So when you find out you've got maybe a condition or diagnosis that could be bad, sometimes you have to look at it and say, at least they found out what it was. For years and years we were trying to sort out the pressure in my eye because of my condition. We couldn't find a solution to anything. They tried 2 operations, that didn't work. They tried 20 sessions of radiotherapy, that still didn't work. And sorry, this lighting is a bit weird. Hopefully it'll be okay. And that didn't work at all. And then they found out that they could do this operation, which I don't really want to describe because some people might be a bit like, where they put like a tube in my eye. And obviously that was quite hard because I was like, oh, I'm a bit scared. But in honesty, that did really help my condition. And obviously the bad news was the fact that my pressure is really high. That's causing me bad headaches. I was like getting really tired. But because of the bad news, they found a solution to it. And you can always get a second opinion. We went to a private doctor. Did we? I think I saw 2 private doctors for my eyes. Yeah, we did, because I had quite a few appointments. And obviously it's good to get that just in case. You obviously don't need to go for private, but my dad managed to get it through like insurance or whatever. But just see maybe other doctors to see what they're saying, their opinion, because who knows, they might have something, they might agree. And in my case they agreed with it. That's why we went for the operation. And obviously it didn't go so well, but it was a step there, and now I'm getting better, which is really good. Like I'm off some of my medication, I'm off steroids, which is like the best thing ever. So yeah, just find a way to see if you can overcome it. My third tip, which I think is the biggest one of all, is talk to family and friends. Like they're your biggest supporters. Honestly, like, they are going to be there for you every step of the way. And if they're not, then just go speak to a counsellor, speak to teachers, speak to your doctors, your like nurses. But from my opinion, and speaking to other people, from my young people's forum at Gosh, they were honestly like that family and friends are your biggest supporters. Speak to them. Speak to whoever you feel like you can just let everything out, rant it out. And that's what I did. I don't know if my friends remember this, but the day I got my bad news, I was literally Snapchatting them and I was like, oh my god, I was literally crying to them so much. But it was the best feeling ever because I let everything out. And this also happened, when did this happen? 2 months ago. I was in pain and at school, I was at school and I didn't want to go to hospital because I was like, I really don't like going. Like, obviously I hate the environment of all the stuff that's happened to me. And I was in tears at school, but luckily all my friends, I could just rant to them and they understood everything. Like, they could just feel my pain. And obviously my parents, I ranted to them before I went to school, but I didn't listen to them because that was just who I am. And they were so lovely, and my parents have been so supportive, and at the end of the day talking to them will help you feel so much better. So I actually just changed the position of my phone because it was really bright and it was going in my eyes and it was just like reflecting on here. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, in all honesty, they're not going to be able to offer you like medical advice, but at the end of the day they're going to give you advice on how to manage your stress, how to manage your bad news, and who knows, they could offer you the best advice because they will know you best. So just find someone to speak to, because it's not very good if you keep everything bottled up, because if everything keeps toppling up, there will be a moment where everything just literally comes out, and you know, you might be by yourself when that happens and you won't have anyone. Whereas if you talk to people and it does happen, at least they might be aware of your situation. So just talk to your friends and family. My fourth tip is to try and join a local support group. That could be the one from your hospital, or maybe a local one, or a group that where people have similar conditions and they get together. Just anything like that where you can talk to people, because I'm so proud of myself that I actually joined at the end of last year, because I was meant to join the year before that, and I did actually email the person, but then I emailed back saying I wasn't ready because I was really anxious on meeting people and I was a bit scared. But I'm glad I did it in last year November, because first of all, that's given me so many other opportunities, and I've been part of the Great Ormond Street Hospital's Young People Forum, and I've met so many amazing people who obviously have conditions, and we've all been able to talk about everything from hospital appointments, operations, staying in hospital, the struggles of going to school and having a condition, missing school. And it's just so nice to talk to people about that, and even if they don't have the same condition, you can still relate to them in some ways. Whereas at school, if you've got a condition, not everyone will have one, and not everyone will be dealing with what you deal with. So it's nice to talk to people who can relate to you a lot more, and that's what I really loved. And we always get together. We also do volunteering at the Teen Cafe at Great Ormond Street, which is lovely because we're always playing games with patients, and it's just so nice. And if we ever have bad news, we're always there for each other. Like, we have a Facebook group chat, and obviously I'm quite close to a few of them, and if we ever need help, they're always there. And that's just been my biggest rock. Like, when I had to go to A&E, I obviously missed a session, and they're also lovely about it. Like, I can always talk to them. And yeah, joining a local support group has been one of the most amazing things that I have done for myself, in terms of not getting as anxious when talking to other people about my condition, because they help you with that. They've been there for learning new skills, just getting to know more people, and yeah, it's just been great. So I would definitely advise you to join a local support group. My fifth tip is to try and carry on with your life. I know that might sound weird, but like, don't stop anything unless obviously it affects your condition. But don't stop hanging out with friends, don't stop activities, don't stop doing stuff because of your condition and the bad news you received. Because I regret stopping netball, if I'm honest, because when they told me, I was like, about my eye condition, I stopped playing netball because I was scared to going back. And I could have played, and I still can, but not going for ages kind of made me more scared of playing sports. And I used to love sports. All my friends would know that I loved playing sports and I was so competitive and I loved it, but obviously after that I just stopped playing because I'm quite scared to go back, and I wish I didn't, if I'm honest, because I know that it seems so fun, like I miss it so much, but I'm still really scared, and part of me is trying to force myself to go back into it. And I think hopefully soon, if I'm ready, I will go back. And I just want to start doing those activities that I really enjoyed playing and doing. And obviously I've taken up other activities, like I've done a lot more volunteering, which has been amazing. I was a tutor for kids working with QMon, and yeah, that's been really nice, but I just kind of wish I did something more active, if that makes sense. So hopefully I'll get back into it, but just try and stay how you are. And I know that might sound weird, but just try, go out with friends if that helps. If you ever receive bad news, just try and forget about the bad news for a little while, carry on, and then slowly you'll be able to adapt, if that makes sense. My 6th tip is to try stress relieving activities, so that kind of links with my other one. Find activities where you know that if you do it you won't get stressed, you enjoy it, it's relaxing, it's time off social media, phones, talking to people, it's just you and that activity. For example, you could try, I'm trying to think, I've tried colouring books, which helped for a little bit, but then it didn't help. What else have I tried? I've tried reading, which did help a little bit, but then after that I didn't really do it, I got a bit distracted from it. But then I tried doing puzzles, and I've done puzzles for about 7 months, and honestly I love it so much. Like I can't describe what I would have done without puzzles recently. Like they're so good to do. Like I do like 1,000-piece puzzles, but obviously you don't need to do it like that many pieces, but to start off small, it's a great way that I do. It's a great way to relieve stress. Like I do it after school for about half an hour. Sometimes you can be a bit too distracted, and I ended up doing it for hours, but hey, it's better to do that than like obviously be really stressed out. I used to do it in my free time. I used to call my neighbours over, because it was really nice for all of us just to do something like that rather than like talking, if that makes sense. Like we would all be concentrated, and it was just so fun. And I still carry on doing puzzles, and throughout year 13 I think that's honestly what I'm going to do. And what's also cool is the satisfaction of when you finish like a puzzle, and I've done I think about 2 or 3 1,000-piece puzzles, and I might show you in another video, but they're so nice and big, and it's so nice to have. And it, like obviously when I'm older it'd be nice to look back on that and be like, I did that, like it's an accomplishment for me. Like hey, it's a puzzle, but so what, it's something I've done, and I'm proud that I did that. And another thing, it also helps with my eyes and concentration, which is a good thing as well. My 7th and final tip is to try not to panic, and I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. If I lose my vision in my left eye, that's meant to happen, and maybe so, because that means I don't think I would have to take any medication, which is a big problem for me because I have a really bad memory. So maybe that's what's meant to happen. And I honestly, I'm such a big believer of everything happens for a reason. Like try not to panic, and hopefully things will work out. And if they don't, try all the other tips I've worked, and hopefully, and I really do mean it, and I hope everything does work out. But the bigger thing is not to panic, because panicking, if you have a panic attack, it could make your condition worse. Like for my condition, it will make it worse. If I get anxious, it makes my condition worse. If I stress any little bit, it makes it worse. So, and panicking obviously will top all of that. Like having a panic attack is the worst thing for my condition. So yeah, try not to panic, just breathe, and hopefully all will be okay. So yeah, that is the end of my video. Sorry for having to change the position of my phone. I hope the video was useful, and I don't know if I seemed like really jumpy and happy for this type of video, but it's because, you know what, you've just got to realise that life is so short. Just enjoy it as much as you can, and that's what I've done a lot this year. Like although I've worked hard on my A-levels, I've realised that, you know what, you've just got to enjoy it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it and found it useful, and I shall see you for my next video. Bye!